Back with our second intermission. It is the Saturday headlines with Elliot Friedman. And obviously, Elliot, the lead story is what constitutes Seattle grunge? Yeah. You have to go to the podcast with Kyle.
Poor Don.
Forget it. But suffice it to say, to quote Pearl Jam, the league is in the black. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, very good. You know, so one of the stories that we've been following this week is the salary cap for next year. And at this time of year, the Players Association meets with all the players as part of its fall tour. And it's taken added on importance because there's going to be a CBA negotiation next year. And one of the things they're talking about is the salary cap, which is supposed to be about 92.5 for next year. Now, when this deal was done, we were in the middle of COVID. We had no idea what the world was going to look like, and there were very careful guardrails put in on the salary cap just in case things didn't recover. Well, fortunately for the NHL, revenues have been strong. They've been very good. They've outpaced the guardrails on that salary cap. So basically, we have two paths to follow here. Number one is they keep the cap next year at around 92.5, and then there's a huge jump the year after in 2026-27. Or what the players say they've kind of been told about is the possibility that the cap moves higher next year, probably around the 95 to 97 area. Now, there's no confirmation yet of which one is going to happen, but I'm hearing that it's definitely going to be discussed, and there is some optimism that they can find a way to do it, but nothing will get done until it's done. It's definitely out there, and the players have definitely been told about the possibility.
And Biz, being a player, wanted to know, does this mean 84 games, Elliot? Are we going to 84?
I don't know any of that stuff yet. I'm just like one thing at a time, Biz. One thing at a time. I don't have your scatterbrained attention span.
Yeah, he wants 1 versus 8 in 84 games, if you want to know. Taylor Hall tonight.
Yeah, so Taylor Hall's a healthy scratch tonight in the back end of our doubleheader, Chicago at Vancouver. People say don't overthink it, but he's a player with a lot of pride. He's a big name. It's tough, not easy. We'll see where it goes in Chicago for him.
Toronto, Matthews.
Look, I mean, we've just got to keep updating this because he's one of the biggest names in the sport. The Maple Leafs are going to be careful. They're not panicked at all, but they're going to be careful, and I don't know that we're going to see him in the next week. They've only got one game before they play on Sunday. The one thing they are bracing for is I think Calle Jarnkrok is going to be out a bit.
You said they're very careful with Austin's medical because he always is very careful.
Very private.
Yeah. What about, I saw Sean report that David Savard was out tonight, and that got some eyebrows raised. Is it a trade thing? Or
no, upper body. He was expected to play, but he's out with an upper body injury. So just a few other things that we are keeping an eye on around the league right now. Boston lost again today. They've definitely been out there trying to see if there's something they can do to shake them up, but there's definitely a lot of intensity in Boston. Nashville, which is on a western road swing right now. Everybody knows they've been looking for a center. I think they're looking at their blue line too. Columbus is in Montreal tonight. David Jiricek, a young player, first-round pick a couple years ago. He's not playing. Don Waddell said tonight that he hopes to sort this out over the next few days. And Ron, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Montreal looking for a forward with edge. One thing I'm definitely seeing out there is if you have one of those players available, they are going to be highly coveted when the time comes.
Great, Elliot. There's your Saturday headlines. By the way, the panel will be here in just a second. Kevin and Kelly are off, as you know. When players become panelists, they always get a kick out of their former colleagues still in the competition. So as a result, Kevin Bieksa teamed up with Sport Check to let Corey Perry know that while he's tied up right now with a Prep Academy hockey tournament, Kevin really missed Corey Perry. And this is what resulted. Back in the second intermission, Lou Gazdic, Paul Bissonnette, special guest tonight, and Jennifer Botterill. Why don't you take us through the Ryan Reeves hit, Darnel Nurse?
Yes, so let's start there. And if you think about a league and if you want to protect the safety of the players, and I think in this sense you have to think about you need to have accountability for the player that's delivering the hit. And in this situation, I feel you can deliver anytime in this league a strong and fierce hit without making contact to the head. And when you do make contact to the head, there needs to be consequences. So in this situation, Reeves goes high in the hit, high. I also think there potentially should be further discipline against it. If you look at his history, he's had 3 suspensions before. One of them is an illegal check to the head, 2 fines as well. So the previous history as well. So I just feel like there needs to be responsibility on the players that are delivering the hit.
Yeah, a tough situation for Revo. A fourth line gets put out there after they give up a goal. You know, you haven't been out there in a few minutes trying to get your legs and get the momentum back from the crowd. And it seems like he was still facing the corner, which, you know, you're anticipating him to round the net and then, you know, maybe hit them towards the front in the crest. And he just really never rounds his shoulder, so it just leaves his head susceptible. And as the player, you have to have responsibility here. And I'd have to agree with Jen. It just sucks. He gets him right on the button. And then, of course, both of them end up leaving the game. And you just hope Darnel's all right, and given the fact if he is going to miss time, I would expect there's going to be a little bit more extra discipline.
That's a really good angle, because he's low to start, but then when he delivers the hit, goes high to catch the head. So I feel like if he stays low, then it's a good physical hit, body to body, but at the end of it, he rises up.
If Nurse's head doesn't move, Revo can't hit it. The onus is always on the forechecker. I don't like this hit at all. I don't love seeing players go down like that, especially a guy like Nursey. He's not going to come back. We hope he's okay. But I just think the onus is all on the forechecker, right? Like, you look at the defenseman, yeah, should Nursey probably have his head up? No, he's coming around the corner. Yes, but he still maybe puts himself in a vulnerable. I think the acceptance is on Revo there to actually not go in that head lane. I don't like it at all. Throw the book at him. He's done it a couple times before. I think you want to stop these hits, like get them out of the game. Why not throw the book at him?
And you could see him leaving the ice. He obviously felt bad. I don't think he had any malicious intent going into that hit. I think the fact that he didn't round the net and open up, it just left him susceptible with his head. And like you guys said, he comes up and there's just like it's on the video, right?
Yeah.
He got him right on the button, and Darnel was leaking, and just hope he's all right.
Getting a little tight here. Panthers are rolling on the Jets tonight, Jen.
Sure, yeah, and they've been very good. They've been dominating, out shooting the Jets. You look at Barkov and Reinhart, really they've been controlling the play. A beautiful play by Barkov, an assist on the one goal by Rodriguez, and then a beautiful shorthanded goal that they combined for. But really, every time they're on the ice, they've got possession, great reads off of each other.
1 minute. What happened, Luke, to Tim Stützle?
A little drama in Raleigh. So they're getting owned a little bit by the Canes here, but they start to get some life here. David Perron's going to make a really nice play across the blue line, get some jump, and Timmy Stützle is going to be driving the net. Keep an eye on 18 driving. Slashes Svechnikov's stick out of his hands, and that's going to draw the penalty right here. I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, I do not like this. I think Svech has got to hold on to his stick a little longer. Stützle is just trying to get his space there. They're going to call that back, and they actually get a penalty out of this. Not a great break for Ottawa, and to be honest, I don't love it.
I agree. I mean, really, it just looks like he's trying to position his stick to receive the pass. It's a tough one for the Sens.
Yeah, one hand on a stick. I think that's soft. A little chintzy, Ron. They need you back out there
Do you ever have a chintzy penalty? Yes.
Sens Nation's going to be, they won't leave the rink safe, those referees, the way they're calling that.
So this was Connor, obviously. That was a funny moment with him and Tavares. He probably didn't deserve a penalty either, right?
No, let him play. Usually it's those kind of meatheads who get those kind of calls.
You wear such a lovely suit, and then you pair it with Wayne's helmet.
I've been texting with Wayne. Yeah, he's watching.
The Sin Bin, the Biz Box. Our coverage continues.